Hi, my name is Sophia, and today we're going to be talking about topic 4.2 of the ACE International History textbook. How effectively did Chiang Kai-shek deal with the communists from 1927 to 1936? This is the key terms. Pause if needed. I am moving on. First, let's talk about the Shanghai Massacre and the extermination campaigns. The Northern Expedition relied partly on cooperation with the CCP, which gained support from workers and peasants. However, Chiang Kai-shek saw communism as a direct threat to his authority and to China's social order. In April 1927, tensions peaked. Communist-led worker uprisings in Shanghai occurred without Chiang's approval. In response, Chiang launched the quote-unquote purification movement to eliminate communist influence. Martial law was declared, and with help from the Green Gang, KMT forces violently suppressed communists. Thousands were killed in what became known as the White Terror. Estimates vary, but tens of thousands of communists were executed or disappeared across China. This destroyed the First United Front and forced the CCP to retreat from the urban areas. The consequences were significant. The KMT consolidated power under Chiang, but lost Soviet support and advisors. The CCP survived by retreating to rural bases, especially in Jiangxi, where Mao Zedong began to rebuild a new strategy focused on peasants rather than urban workers. Now let's talk about the Long March from 1934 to 1935. After several extermination campaigns, Chiang's fifth campaign used encirclement tactics that nearly destroyed the CCP. Facing defeat, around 90,000 communists broke out and began a retreat across China. The Long March covered around 9,000 to 10,000 kilometers over 1 year. The Red Army faced extreme hardship, including hunger, harsh terrain, and constant attacks. Only around 10,000 to 20,000 survived during the journey. And during the march, Mao Zedong gained leadership at the Zunoi Conference in 1935. He changed tactics by using guerrilla warfare and flexible movement. The Long March ensured the survival of the CCP and established Mao as a dominant leader. Next, Mao Zedong himself. He was born in 1893, and he came from a peasant background and believed revolution in China must rely on rural peasants rather than industrial workers. He supported the use of violence as a necessary tool for revolution and adopted Marxism to Chinese conditions. Next, let's talk about the Xiang incident in 1936. Japan's invasion of Manchuria in 1931 increased pressure on China. Chiang prioritized destroying the CCP instead of resisting Japan, which caused frustration among his own generals. In December 1936, Chiang was kidnapped by his own generals, Zheng Zhilang and Yang Hacheng. They demanded that he stop fighting the communists and form a united front against Japan. The CCP supported negotiation rather than execution. Chiang was released after agreeing to cooperate with the CCP, and this led to the Second United Front, temporarily ending the civil war and allowing both sides to focus on resisting Japan. Next, let's talk about the attempts at modernization and reform under the KMT. After 1928, Chiang established a government in Nanjing and began a period known as the Nanjing Decade. And there were real achievements. Infrastructure improved with new roads, railways, and communication systems. Industry expanded, and the national currency was introduced. Public health improved through sanitation projects, and education expanded with more schools and a standardized national language. Legal reforms included Western-style courts and some social reforms, improving women's rights and working conditions. These changes showed progress towards modernization. However, there were major limitations. The KMT still did not fully control China, especially in rural and northern areas where warlords remained powerful. Many reforms had limited impact outside major cities. Military spending dominated the budget, leaving little for welfare or education. Corruption and weak administration reduced effectiveness. Campaigns against the CCP drained the resources, and resistance from traditional elites blocked reforms. External pressures also weakened progress. Japanese aggression, especially in Manchuria, revoked key economic resources. Not revoked, removed key economic resources. The Great Depression reduced foreign investment and trade. By 1936, Chiang had partially succeeded in weakening the CCP but failed to eliminate it. The CCP survived, strengthened its rural base, and gained legitimacy through resistance to Japan. And overall, policies achieved a short-term control and modernization in some areas, but failed to fully unify China or destroy the communist movement, which remained a major force. And this is the timeline.